Now, let's be clear. Living your dream is not a destination. It's not something that you end up at. Living your dream is this present moment. This thing is a game. This whole life is a dream. We're literally dreaming into creation. You know, the whole think and grow rich thing about our thoughts create reality. They really do. Our body is part of that reality as well. So we need to use our body. But check this out. This thing is a dream. And if you're not living your dream, then you miss the point of being here. This whole thing is a game, in my humble opinion. This whole thing is a game. And the sooner that we realize that we are just children and we are just playing a game and we are cruising around in these, people call it a meat suit, right? But we're cruising around in these divine bodies that have been blessed upon us. We get to come here to this reality and create whatever we want, however we want, in whatever way that we want. We get to create the dream. So if you haven't met me yet, my name's Scotty. I'm out here. This is the lake that we dug last year on the island. I'm out here on 3 acres of land in an eco village in Russia, of all places. I'm Aussie, but we moved here nearly 5 years ago. If you want to catch up on my story, you can click my name, go and watch some of our videos, and don't forget to subscribe so you can follow along on the adventure. But this whole follow your heart to live your dream, it really is true. So when I was 19, I was nearly killed by a guy after I received 16 non-recorded criminal convictions. Yes, I had my run-in with the law. I was a good kid, but I was just lost. I didn't know what I wanted. I didn't fit any of the molds that society was trying to put me in. I really didn't resonate with my family and the way that they lived their life. And I didn't really have any mentors around me to show me otherwise. Check this out, fields of tea. This is called Ivan Chai. It's the Russian tea. We've got just fields and fields of it. We grow it out here, and that's what we drink all winter. But yeah, I eventually got arrested breaking into cars and went through the judicial system. I got 16 no recorded convictions. The guy who physically caught me trying to break into his car decided that me getting a non-recorded conviction and no jail time was not adequate in his mind, and he started to stalk me and follow me home and make death threats. We went and visited him, me and my dad, and he threatened to kill me. We put a police restraining order. The next day he broke the restraining order, and a few hours later I was literally on an aeroplane leaving Brisbane and flying back to Cairns where I grew up. I hid in the back of the car under a blanket, and my dad drove me to the airport. He happened to work at the airport and he put me straight on a plane and got me out of there. So at 19, my whole life changed very dramatically. Whoa! And I realized that something had to give. What I was doing was just not working. And I made a vow. When was it? January 21st, 2001. I made a vow, one, to never lift my hands in violence again. I also got an assault conviction. And I was never going to do what anyone else wanted me to do ever again. I was just going to do what I wanted to do. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I wanted to be happy. And at 19, that was about as deep as my wisdom went. And I said to myself, what does happiness mean? I had the foresight to realize that I didn't know much. And I said, I don't know what happiness means. I have no idea. But I thought, what if I do all of the things that I enjoy? Maybe that will make me happy. And so I started to do that. First thing I enjoyed was adventure activities. I went home and told my uncle and auntie that I was going to be happy. And my uncle said, well, I just did a scuba diving course. Why don't you go and try that? So I did a scuba diving course and I loved it. So I become a dive master trainee, and then a dive master, and then an instructor. And for 2 years, I worked on the Great Barrier Reef. I've done like over 2,000 dives. I've taken hundreds and hundreds of people diving on their first ever diving experience. And I loved it. It just absolutely changed my life. I got to hang around with people from all over the world, different cultures, different languages, different experiences. And I just had this most joyous time taking people into nature to experience the beauty of where I grew up. I grew up on the Great Barrier Reef. I moved to Brisbane when I was 16. And then after that, I realized I want to learn a second language. Everyone speaks 2 languages, so I moved to Japan. I had a real passion for karate. I got a black belt in karate when I was young. I moved to Japan and I started studying Japanese. And I really started getting into spirituality and meditation and trying to understand who am I? What is this place? And so Japan really took me into Zen Buddhism and meditation and and this whole world opened up for me. I came back to Australia, and then I thought, oh, what's the next adventure? I thought whitewater rafting. I want to become a whitewater rafting guide. So I started working for a company, did my traineeship, was taking sea kayaking tours in Japanese because I'd learned Japanese by that stage, and then studied to become a whitewater rafting guide. And then for 2.5 years, I worked for that company as a rafting and kayaking guide. And then I thought, oh, what's next? What do I want to do next? And you can see sort of where this, this journey has led me here. I'm now 44, and this is the dream that I'm currently living. But the key is I kept following my heart. I didn't allow the fear of the unknown to hold me back, because there's a lot of unknown out there. Like, we don't know what's going to happen next. We really don't know if we're going to get one more breath. What if we don't get one more breath? What if right now is your last breath? Would you be truly happy with the life that you're living and have lived and plan to live into the future? Is your heart really being called into this moment, or are you caging your heart a little bit because of the fear of the unknown? The fear of, I'm getting a bit hot here, the fear of what if it doesn't work? What if I can't do it? What if, something bad happens? And that to me has been the thing that I've done my best to let go of. I didn't want to be held back by anything, any limitation whatsoever. I sort of have this feeling, and it came from a deep spiritual experience when I was 21, where I connected with Source, whatever that is for you. God, Allah, the universe, Great Spirit, or maybe you have no experience or feeling of that whatsoever, but I did. I had this deep connection with Source, like a white light and bliss type experience, and it changed me, and it showed me that the reality of who I am is beyond the physical senses. Who I really am, and this wasn't, after that experience at 21, it was no longer like something I read in a book. It was like a lived experience. I really lived it on the side of the road for 45 minutes. And after that, there was no turning back. There was no, I can't unlive that. I can't unknow what I just experienced. And I guess from there, I've always allowed myself the courage just to be myself. And even when I was a kid, I just allowed myself to be myself. And I got beat up for it, emotionally mostly, for being myself, because I wasn't like the people around me. And so for me, it was easy to leave home because I didn't have there wasn't any preconceived notions of who I was in the new people that I would meet on my journeys, on my travels. And a man early on when I started traveling, so I moved to Japan at 22. Before that, I'd traveled a little bit here and there. And then after whitewater rafting and kayaking, I decided on some more adventures. I went back to Japan. I was in Thailand quite a bit. And then in 2007, I moved to California. I spent 12 months living in California. I had a television show idea I wanted to inspire the world with. I'll make another video. If you're interested in learning more about this, hit subscribe. One video is obviously not going to be enough. And then after that, I came back to Australia, and then I lived in Bali for a few years. I worked at the Green School. I met a beautiful girl, traveled across India and Sri Lanka, and then ended up in Canada, in Toronto. Came back to Australia, and the journeys continued from there through Bali, Russia, Australia, again, South America, Ecuador, the jungles, Peru, so many places. But again, if you're interested, hit subscribe, and we'll share more as we go. But for me, the key has been, and that's the title of this video, is we have to follow our heart to live our dream. And our dream is not a vision board goal that we set for ourselves that one day I will live this dream. I've got the nice house and the beautiful wife and the nice car and blah, 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 whatever it is that you want, right? And there's nothing wrong with having those future visions, but the dream is actually what we're dreaming right now. This is a dream. And the key is to get it beyond, I guess, a conception and live the experience fully. So meaning we have to get beyond this idea of, oh, this is all a dream. Wow. Okay, that's only mental. That's only skin deep. But actually embodying, we get so few visitors here. Like, it's so peaceful out here. It's called Miranaya, that the dog barks every time like a car drives past or somebody walks past the house. It's beautiful. This is my dream. I'm living my dream right now out here in the peace and quiet. But again, the key here, and I don't want to get all this philosophical, but we have to live it. We have to feel it. And the key to following our heart is to move beyond the noise of the senses. And that's why, like, distractions and stuff. Hopefully after this video, you know, like and comment and subscribe, and then you pause listening to more information and you go into nature where it's quiet and you just feel what it is to feel you in this moment, your present moment, your dream, that you as the divine source, the child of God, of the universe, whatever it is that you want to call it, it doesn't matter what it is in the conceptual mind. It's the experience of that full, loving presence of who you really are. And from that place, you cannot be harmed. You cannot be broken. You cannot be destroyed, because who you really are is divinity. Who you really are is the essence of life itself. And so for me, I've just done my best to continually be moving into that present moment where it's just full embodiment of who I really am, of Great Spirit, of Source. It's full embodiment of the power, the strength of the divine in the present moment. And therefore, I don't need to fear. I don't need to worry about what other people are thinking. I don't need to think about, oh, what if I'm here and this happens or that happens? Oh, I'm so scared. I let go of all of that. And don't worry, there's still opportunities for fear, and those are opportunities that I get to step into. I see, oh, there's a portal of fear. Let's go and learn through that experience. Like jumping out of an airplane. I have my A license in skydiving. I've done only 9 solo jumps by myself. Super cool. But that's like an opportunity to step through and be like, wow, that'd be super scary. Or picking up a camera and talking to somebody. Like how I met my wife. Beautiful woman sitting next to me in a cafe in Bali. And I'm just like, wow. So I turned next to me and I was like, hi, da-da-da-da-da. And then 5 hours later, we're still chatting and working. And like, I just had the courage to say hello to the most beautiful woman that I'd ever met in my life. And still to this day, we have to let go of fear. We have to move beyond worry and doubt and concern for this, like, thoughts or, hello, thoughts or, it's echoing in the forest. It's so cool. Or any concern whatsoever that something bad will happen to me. Now, be smart. Don't walk into a war zone or, into the wrong place at the wrong time, or jump out of an airplane without a parachute. We're intelligent beings here. But at the same time, it's more the emotional worries, the worried about getting hurt, that it won't work, what will people think of me, that hold most of us back. And I let go of that. I just do my do, and I live my life the best that I can with an open heart. And I keep following. And I ask myself, and I'll leave you with this, but I asked myself constantly when I was younger, if I could do anything right now, what would it be? If I could do anything right now, what would it be? And I would sit with that question. If I could do anything right now, what would it be? Now, I haven't asked that question in probably 10, 15 years, but it really helped me. And I would sit there and I would feel it. And if it was like, make a cup of tea, I would get up and I would make a cup of tea. Now, let's be honest, when I was in my 20s, I probably wasn't drinking too much tea. But whatever the feeling was, it was like, one time I was like, I would go to Thailand. I'm like, what? I'm working. I was like, no, I would go to Thailand. Like right now, I'd go to Thailand. A week later, I was in Thailand. Everyone's like, what are you talking about? You can't just quit and leave. And I was like, guys, I don't know why, but I have to go to Thailand. And then this magical, now there's probably a bit of selfishness in that as well. But what I need, and part of that was reclaiming that I am me, and I'm not going to be dictated and guided by my mom and dad who want the best but really don't know what's best, or society who wants to corral me into a certain way so that I fit the mold. Like, I had to reclaim me and be like, hang on a second, you don't know what's best for me. All of you beautiful people out there, and some not so beautiful, that are trying to tell me how to be, you don't know what's best for me. I'm flat out knowing what's best for me, right? Like, I'm struggling to work out what's best for me, let alone you guys on the outside. You don't have the feelings that I have inside me. You don't know what my heart is calling for. And yet I'm listening to you to tell me how to live. I went to university. I lasted a year and 4 months because that's what everybody was telling me to do. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I got into sales and started making money because like, oh, everybody needs to make money. I've never chased money after I did it for a year and a half. And I was like, well, I don't understand what this is all about. Like money's important, but it's not, it's a tool. It's not the goal. It's not the dream. The dream is to live fully in this present moment from my heart and love every moment of this experience. That to me is the dream. Nature is the key. Nature, the vibration, the peace. You have a chakra system. I said I'd leave you, didn't I? You have a chakra system. Same colors as the rainbow. Red, orange, yellow. Green is the heart. Blue, indigo, violet. You've got 3 below and 3 above. And the heart is the green color. The green color. Nature. Nature is the key. Being in nature. Being close to nature. The quietness of nature. Away from the distractions. Opening your heart. Listening to the vibration that is calling you forward. What is the next breath that you will take? That's the key. And following your heart to live your dream now is the only happiness that there is. I guarantee you're not going to be happy when you get X, Y, and Z. You're not going to be happy when you have the thought of this thing in your reality now. That won't make you any more or less happy. The happiness is here now in this present moment from an open heart. And so I leave you with that. Follow your heart to be free, to be you. That's what this is all about, to be the full expression of you. Follow your heart, open your heart to be all that you're here to be the divine. And again, if you've got some belief structure about what that is, input your version, right? Whether it's the child of God or, you know, the servant of Allah, I'm not really sure, but it doesn't matter what mental construct you want to place on this experience of freedom, this present moment, freedom, opening your heart, being fully here now. That's what I'm talking about. So I love you so much. My name is Scotty. If you are interested in more of this content, I just started sharing here and I really want to just help inspire more beautiful brothers and sisters out there. Our family is waking up, is rising up today. We are here to resonate love. And as this darkness tries to overtake us, the only thing that will bring us into a beautiful future for our children and our children's children is love. It's not fighting against, it's not railing against the system. It's to open our hearts and live fully in love. And so I hope that you join me on that journey of opening your heart and living your freedom. And I'm going to go have a beautiful day and I love you so much. Again, if this resonates, please let me know in the comments where you're coming from, what resonates most with you, how you're going with your journey. Give it a like, share it with somebody that you love, and I'll see you very soon. Ciao.